In this video, we talk about how to get your written articles on the local property market into newspapers and other printed mediums. A lot of people say local press is dead, but if you actually look at the numbers, thousands and thousands of people will still read your local rag, and there are also other magazines out there. And there are some great techniques that you can use to your advantage to get your articles in the newspaper for free. So let's start off with newspapers. The important thing to remember with newspapers is that most are run straight down the middle. You've got the editorial team and then you've got the advertising team. Now what you tend to find is most hate each other's guts, but they need each other to operate. You need the news for people to buy the newspaper, but you need the editorial, the advert stuff to supplement the pound notes. You see, the best advice I can do with newspapers is as following. Buy yourself a newspaper and actually read it. And you will notice that there are 3, possibly 4 main writers, definitely the editor, potentially a deputy editor and a couple of chief reporters. Actually have a look and see who's writing it. The first thing you're going to do is get a copy of their email address. And the second, you're going to get their actual postal address. And you're going to do the following. Now, there's no guarantee this will work, but the chances are very, very high. Step 1. You are going to work out which day the newspaper comes out. And then so if that's, say, a Thursday, you then work 2 days backwards. And on the Tuesday, you are going to send an email to all 4 people. Now, whether you send them all in one go or whether you send them individually, that's entirely your choice. The subject line of the email should be the subject line of your article. And then you're going to cut and paste the article into the email. No graphics or anything else like that. Unless you've got a graph with the article, you can do it as an attachment, JPEG. And you'll say, Dear Jim, Dear Sarah, whatever your name it is, as you are interested in the Grantham property market, I thought you might be interested in this, my weekly article about the Grantham property market, where I talk about blah, 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 cut and paste it in, and then send the email off. The very next day, I want you to print off that same article, put it into a handwritten envelope with a stamp, and I want you to send it to them. What will happen is this. We all get 60, 70 emails a day, but we always remember the envelope that we open. What you do is you send the email 2 or 3 days before it comes out, and then you send a hard copy with a post-it note saying, hi, I know you got the email. I just thought I'd follow up with a hard copy for you to read. I appreciate you might get loads of emails, so I thought I'd send it in the post. Blah blah, or something like that. What you do then? So if there's 4 people in the newspaper, you're going to send it 4 times. 4 emails, 4 envelopes a week. You're going to say that's a lot of money, but just think how powerful it would be to get half a page editorial free of charge. It's pretty worth it for 4 stamps a week and 4 emails. And here on the screen here, you can see an example of an agent in Leicester who got half a page editorial free of charge, and they put it in. Doesn't that look absolutely marvellous? You'd have to pay hundreds and hundreds of pounds for that. Now, on average, it takes between 3 and 6 months to do this, but to get half a page editorial for free of charge, I think that's worth it. Notice you're going nowhere near the advert people, you're going down the editorial side. Now, next up is printed magazines. Often you'll have magazines based on your town or your locality. You might even get those little what we call postcode tradesman's book, which are A4 folded into A5. You should know about these things. And the principle's exactly the same. Probably once a week is a bit over the top, but once every 2 or 3 weeks, do the same principle of sending an email with the article, and then a few days later, following it up with a printed copy. Rinse and repeat. Again, your covering letters might get a little bit stronger after a few months, saying, feel free to use this at any time if you ever need some column inches filling, and I won't charge you, or there'll be no cost for you to use it. Very important, a psychological link. I'm giving this to you, not you please use it. It changes the balance and it works really well. So basically, those are the techniques that you can use to enable you to get your articles, all being well, in the printed media for free of charge. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about Rightmove banners and how you can use Rightmove to drive people to your blog.